right. All right, and they're readied, and here we go.
Oh
Team
my.
Huckin Spears with the first ban, and this is Dragonshire. It's Dragonshire all week, folks. All week.
Nice. They ban Rhaegar. Not surprised to see that. We might not see that on Thursday after the
Maybe not.
Rhaegar
He is.
changes.
He's getting a nerf. And surprise, surprise. Who might it be, Josh? Oh, it's Li Ming.
It always feels like those are. And wow, okay. Zagara first pick.
This is looking very similar to last game.
Well, they took Jaina Muradin last game, so I don't know if we'll get that again. I think Jaina is a great option here, especially if Unstable has somebody that they feel comfortable playing the hero. I'd like Jaina Thrall as an
Jaina
option.
Thrall is a fantastic grab at this point. I mean,
You want to have somebody to deal with the Zagara in the
you
top
do.
lane.
And not only that, Thrall's got an amazing initiation in his why is his ultimate escaping me?
Sundering.
Sundering. I was
Yep.
thinking Earthquake for some reason. I was like, yes, I think he's got an ultimate called Earthquake, but no one ever uses it.
He does. I'd like
You'd
to see
almost
it more.
forgotten.
It actually the upgrade at 20 is quite cool. It gives a shield to allies who every time it pulses for like 15% of their health. It's actually quite sizable, but yeah, probably not going to be meta anytime soon. And Muradin Raynor as a
Yeah,
first
very Murden getting a lot of prioritization these days. He's an absolutely amazing tank. So much health, got a good stun, got a good engage or disengage, and Raynor just a great consistent damage. And then Diablo over on Team Hunked Spears.
interesting. So there's always the possibility of seeing like a Toronto with that, but Jaina, I like this a lot. This like if you like Diablo and you're gonna play Diablo composition, Jaina is a nice addition to that because
Oh yeah.
she knows where the enemy is going to be, which allows her to maximize her damage and also help her team kill them. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than an overpower straight into a blizzard.
oh yeah, it's dirty. And then Uther ban coming out from Unstable.
And that's a good ban on their part. So Rhaegar's been taken out. They don't want to play against Uther. So they went ahead and took him out. And so now they've got their pick. And Morales is gone too, so there's not going to be a whole lot of choice on the side of support for Huckin Spears.
Yeah, I mean for either really. I mean obviously Huckin Spears is going to have the second choice here, but like what do you look at now? Kerosene potentially, Malfurion, Brightwing. There's not a ton of options left. I like the Morales ban from Huckin Spears because they realize you see that Raynor and suddenly you think, okay, well now Stim Drone is a possibility.
Oh yeah, and Stim Drone on Raynor is just scary.
Yeah, I mean in an alternate draft universe, that Morales ban doesn't go through, and then Unstable could potentially pick like Sonya Morales.
Oh gosh,
and
yeah.
that's really scary, right? So I like it. I think maybe we'll see Falstad here. Well, okay, Lily. That's also
A
I did not
second
mention
Lily.
her. Oh wow,
A second two
Lily
games in a row of Lily. Well, I mean, all they've got really to interrupt the jug so far is Diablo. But of course, with the Lily pick now, Huckin Spears has a chance to get a few more options that could disable that jugs. I'd still like to see a Thrall here. I think a Thrall would be a great pickup for them, especially to lane against that Zagara and just that extra damage.
Yeah, right now, if you're Unstable, you have to sort of be thinking, okay, who's going top lane? And okay, so we're gonna get Tyrande.
So I feel like the Tyrande is a little bit of a deny for Huckin Spears just so they can't set up those Diablo ganks because
Yeah.
Tyrande into Diablo into Jaina is super scary.
I just wonder now, if you're Huckin Spears, like I don't like Brightwing's not as she has the global presence.
Yeah,
but
which
she
is
doesn't
good on this
fit-
map.
She
Which is
doesn't
good on
really
this map.
fit the composition especially well. And okay, so it's gonna be Malfurion, which is probably a good choice. We were sort of low on options there. Karazi's
there's-
still on the table, but sort of been falling off in popularity.
At the same time, looking at Unstable's team right now, there isn't a lot of burst over there. And so Malfurion could actually be a really decent counter to this fairly sustained damage so far of Unstable.
I'd really like Huckin Spears if they feel comfortable with the solo Diablo tank. I'd like to see them maybe take Thrall here. He's still on the table somehow.
I don't see anything wrong with taking Thrall. That would complement them greatly, and that would just give them such a stronger lane presence than Unstable has right now.
They're really taking time to think about it. I would love to see them use Thrall because we actually saw on the weekend Thrall as a tank. And I think with Diablo, it can combo into the Root and the Jaina, just general damage as well as slowing. Like there's a lot of potential there. So
That's the really nice part about Huckin Spear's draft right now is they have so much control on their team. They have Maw, they have possibly Apocalypse, Overpower, possibly Ring of Frost, which can work really well with Apocalypse. Blizzard, Slows, Root. It's just so much control.
and Fallside also a really good pick here. It's going to give them some global potential. I mean, look, that's a scary damage lineup from Huckin Spears.
No,
like,
that's a very scary damage lineup. It'll be interesting to see what Unstable does. They need another damage. They just don't have.
Yeah,
they don't have much damage right now. They need something that packs a punch.
It's a really low damage composition right now, and they don't really have anybody who can really take advantage of the increased burst from Hunter's Mark. So, Thrall, I again think Thrall would be a pretty good option.
And there it is, yeah. Yep. And it was very surprising he lasted until this long in the draft, but I think that's a very good pickup. They really needed that damage, and now they actually have something else that can combo with that Hunter's Mark from Toronto.
Yeah, I like the Thrall pickup, but I'm still worried about the damage on the side of Unstable. I guess we'll have to see. The Rain or Muradin like prioritization sort of set them back a little bit in the draft, and they lost Jaina. They don't have Falstad. Falstad would have been actually an okay last pick as well if they wanted the global as opposed to the like big initiation from Thrall with Sundering.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's gonna be they're gonna really need to coordinate well on the side of Unstable to get a kill. They'll be pretty good early game actually, I would say, but like it's gonna drop off towards the late.
I feel like Huckin Spears, on paper at least, has the stronger draft. It's very control oriented. There's good sustained damage from Falstad. There's very good burst damage from Jaina. There's nothing really on the side of Unstable that I would say really would scare me as Malfurion for something I think would be hard pressed to heal through.
Yeah, I'm really wondering as to how you're going to win a team fight late game as Unstable.
Yeah,
that's really the thing that scares me. Like they could definitely get some strong rotations early game with Tyrande, Muradin, Thrall. That's all very scary. Yep. But when you get to the late game, I mean, there's burst on the side of Huckin Spears. There's more sustained damage on the side of Huckin Spears. And does Unstable have the burst to negate that Malfurion? Like you said, I don't think so.
I don't think they do, especially if Malfurion takes the talent that front loads some more of that healing at, I believe, level 4. I think the healing game is going to be stronger. They do have a support and a half, so it'll be interesting to see how Tyrande and how Lily build will have to be following that, because we could see more of a Serpent build out of Lily instead of maybe just full-out healing, just for the extra damage.
I think that, like, in the long run, though, even if they're able to sort of push the team fight out on the side of Unstable, it's going to be a little bit of it. They're going to be at a disadvantage later, so I guess we'll see.
Good. So on the side of Huckin Spears, we have Paragon of Honor on Malfurion, Wrecked Him on Falstad, Dark on Diablo, Greg's and Ham on Jaina, and Jammers on Zagara.
And on the side of Unstable, we have that's not the actual word liquid. It's liquid. It's like liquid, I guess. On Raynor, Aegis on Muradin, Laser Muffin on Thrall.
Laser Muffin.
Mystic Shroud on Lily, and on Tyrande, it's Tactical Tuna.
Yep, not your average tuna.
No, this tuna has had extensive combat training.
Oh, Zagara walking into a 5-man right now. Nice dwarf toss by Muradin with the stun and the burst.
Yeah,
it's too much.
That's all 1v5, and they had everything up.
They have. There is burst on the side of Unstable when it's 1v5.
absolutely. And ooh, I even like this pressure they're putting on Falstad. The rotations early game, like they could build a sizable lead, especially if Huckin Spears is not careful. So
yeah, looks like Thrall's going to rotate down to the bottom. We've got a 4-man rotation right now on the side of Spears, and Lily and Raynor top against that Zagara, which they should be able to pressure her out, but that's going to really hurt that middle and bottom lane pressure.
And Tactical Tune on Tyrande has actually chosen Ranger's Mark for the reduced cooldown on Hunter's Mark. So I wonder if, like, you're right, we might not see more utility-focused build overall from him throughout the game.
Yeah, Lily did take the Conjurer's Pursuit, and I mean, that doesn't necessarily imply anything yet. It'll be interesting to see how she goes, but we may see the more fully on damage from Tyrande and just heal Lily. Nice stun by Thrall right there. Wrecked him taking some damage, but of course Malfurion's there to give him a little hand up.
And this is kind of an interesting situation with Lily Raynor top against the Zagara and leaving Thrall to basically solo lane bottom. Well, it looks like Mystic Shroud may have disconnected. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting laning situation. There hasn't really been big rotations.
No, they're mostly staying to their lanes. We've got our 3 in the middle, 1 on each side. Lots of damage going out on Diablo. Nice route by Malfurion to keep Muradin from really engaging, and the knockback by Diablo just to make sure he's safe.
Give him the shoulder.
Give him the cold shoulder.
It's good. And Falstad, oh wow, this pressure from Jaina Falstad bottom is going to be really hard for Thrall, so he's going to need help from his team soon.
I mean, you can't just, in general, as a melee versus a range, you're just not going to win that.
And Thrall's maybe one of the few melees who can have favorable matchups. Oh, actually, wow, Falstad almost gets destroyed by Thrall.
As you're saying that, if Thrall does land that Feral Spirit, he can put a hurtin' down on squishies.
It's just Jaina Falstad has so much burst that, like, his passive, it's not going to get a ton of mileage. So, really kind of a dangerous situation for Thrall. He's going to need to play safe.
It's actually been just a lot of poking, a lot of posturing. Teams so far are fairly content just to hold one shrine apiece.
Yeah, and neither team with a huge advantage. Actually have Huckin Spears slightly ahead, but nothing big. Oh wow, it's actually now unstable slightly ahead, and Laser Muffin doing what he can to protect this tower at the bottom, but his team is not here. He is alone against 4 people.
Rotation down, and honestly, Zagara being ranged with all those extra, with the creep, with the extra little minions and the hunter killer she can spawn, she's going to do much better in a 1v2 lane than Thrall will, especially against ranged. And we're seeing that right now.
Honestly, a little bit disappointed in what we're seeing from Unstable now. They've sort of slowed down the rotations. Everybody's just kind of like staying in mid. Tyrande has not been moving around. Wow, the Lunar Flare comes down on Diablo, but there's really no follow-up. And that, honestly, is why those towers in bot lane are gone. There has been no rotation.
And, I mean, that actually forced Lily to come down, but so much damage going out on the Thrall, and the burst from Falstad and Jaina just melts him, and Mr. Shroud might go down as well.
Oh yeah, he's probably gonna go down here.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. And this, if they're smart, this should be a Dragon Knight for Spear. They've got the big numbers now. They're pushing down on bottom. Zagara actually manages to kill Raynor off, and they are now down 3 men. Thrall trying to run back. Surprised we're not seeing more of a rotation to the middle to take control of this, especially with so many people on Unstable down.
Yeah, Falstad currently staying bottom. He obviously can fly, but Tyrande gets hit by the overpower, just trying to get away from Diablo, but oh yeah, she will get away, but at this point it looks like it's going to be a Dragon Knight.
Yep. Great pickup by them. It was basically at the last moment. Thrall had gone up to try and stop that and was super close to doing so, so they did manage to time that out correctly. Not going to get a whole lot of mileage out of the Dragon Knight, actually. It's taking a lot of damage. That Tyrande Hunter's Mark is absolutely fantastic to use against the Dragon Knight to burn it down, especially this early when it's got no life.
Yeah, really almost nothing. 1 tower. And like you said, the Hunter's Mark does a lot of good against the Dragon Knight.
But I mean, even so, at the bottom, it was a good enough distraction that Falstad has almost gotten this fort down.
Yeah, it's still not a good situation for Unstable. It's sort of like a Pyrrhic victory that they managed to defeat the Dragon Knight so quickly because they don't have any towers bottom, and they're, like you said, they're almost without that fort, and that's going to be rough. So,
and not only that, they're a level behind now, and Spears is actually just going to hit level 10.
Yep, and it is going to be Tranquility for Malfurion, Ring of Frost from Jaina, obviously Maw from Zagara, and Apocalypse Gust.
That is a scary set of ults on the side of Huckin Spears.
I am really, like, if you land a huge Gust into Apocalypse and a Ring of Frost, like, that's
GG.
Maw? I mean, I didn't even talk about Maw there.
I know.
So yeah, there's definitely huge Wombo potential on the side of Huckin Spears, and right now, Unstable just needs to get these lanes, get into the lanes, soak some XP.
They just need to get 10 before they get engaged on. And this is really Huckin Spears' time too. They should be looking to force some sort of a fight while they have that advantage, looking to get a pick, because Unstable just can't fight them right now.
Yeah, and any attempt to do so would likely result in some... Oh wow, and in the middle...
Beautiful overpower onto Lili. Ring of Frost goes down, does manage to grab Muradin, but unfortunately it looks like Lili's going to get away. Tranquility has to come out though, and level 10 has been hit by Unstable. Jugs is out, and so is Hyperion from the bottom, and they're pushing these guys back.
Always sucks to get flanked by a battle cruiser, and that's pretty much what happened there. They weren't able to follow up and secure anything. Both sides using a lot of heroics.
Shrines are back up now. Talent tier wise, they are on even footing and will be for quite a while. This is probably Unstable's best chance to really get some damage done.
Yeah, in the top thrall now, 1v2 against Diablo and Zagara. He really has no way to get away. He actually uses Sundering anyways, but he's going to go down here.
Yeah, really good pickup by them. Gus goes out, knocks Lili and Tron back, separating Muradin. But, I don't know, they should be able to finish him. Shadowstalk does go out to heal him up a little bit, but the Dragon Knight picked up by Dark. They were able to hold the shrine just long enough. Beautiful job on the bottom with the 3v3 holding them back, and Tyrande is super low.
Oh, and Lili just walked in and took that Frostbolt for Tyrande. I love it.
Yep. That's what you call a panda pal, Josh.
Indeed. And that's actually, we saw Haymaker in the bottom, so Muradin going with Haymaker instead of Avatar. Everything else pretty much what you'd expect.
Haymaker?
I like it. I really like it against this composition, actually. Like, if he can pick somebody up, like especially Malfurion, there's definitely the potential to get an early kill.
The Dragon Knight doing a lot better rotations this time around. He's actually picked off a few towers. They're going to get this final one, and much better Dragon Knight, at least, than the first one.
Yeah, definitely better. They're still not able to take down the fort mid or top, but they're already at 13 talent tier. So at this point, Unstable needs to really consider what they're doing here. If the enemy team collapses on them top, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
not only that, all the ults are up on the side of Huckin Spears. Maw goes out. Beautiful three-man Maw, Apocalypse, and Ring of Frost, and that was beautifully executed.
Those three people just disappeared, TBJ. They're gone now.
They're gone.
I don't know where they went.
I don't know if they're in a better place, but it's got to be better than that.
Considering they got hit by Diablo, I very much doubt it's a better place than here. But
and
wow.
That is, and we talked about that. That is the power of those ults synergistically, and they executed that perfectly. They could not have done that better. Three-man Maw into Apocalypse, into Ring of Frost, and deletion.
It really felt like the Ring of Frost was almost unnecessary to me, because the Apocalypse did a lot of damage and it's perfectly timed, but hey, you want to make sure you secure those kills, so good job. And now they're pushing their way towards 16, while we still don't have 13 for Unstable.
Yeah, 2.5 level difference, and almost 2 talent tier difference. A lot of damage going down on the Thrall. Laser Muffin running nice dive by Diablo to actually kill him. Tranquility goes out, going to top everybody off, and that is one dead fort.
Big props to Greg's and Ham in that last encounter. He actually put the Blizzard always where it's most annoying for the enemy team, getting a lot of mileage with it, and for some reason we get a re-engage. Ring of Frost hits 3 people. Zagara trying to follow up, Falstad trying to follow up. Falstad just attacking the tower for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, that was a huge Ring of Frost with little follow-up.
That was an absolutely crazy blast by Raynor to knock Diablo back into the wall.
Yeah, and it looks like
I was super impressed, but he's got souls. He's right back there.
And Diablo actually interrupted the cups with overpower.
Yep.
So Lily's going to have to play a little bit more conservatively, a little bit further back maybe, to make sure that doesn't happen in the future, because
the big problem with her ult that time was she popped it while she was still on the other side of the gate. It's a huge, huge range when you do Jug of 1,000 Cups, so she could have easily been just inside the fort and still done the exact same thing, but actually allowed it to finish its channel.
Yeah, so we're now down a full talent here, really, 16 to 13. Team Huckin Spears trying to just cap this Dragon Knight, but Unstable not going to allow that.
Raynor caught out of position, Hyperion goes down, but he is just going to get absolutely deleted.
And Muradin is actually very far. Wow, Haymaker's his opponent away. Over the wall, I love it. He's on the run.
Beautiful dwarf toss. The jukes are real. But he's got those 2 little annoying Zagara Nats on him, and he's just gonna.
The Mutalisks don't respect walls.
They don't.
No respect, so sad. Feels bad, man. But good attempt to get away. At this point, Lily actually rotated in the bottom and got that shrine, so nice move there. But now, Huckin Spears is going to be able to just go down there, Falstad flying down.
Lots of Giants pushing bottom. They have to respond to it. They're doing so much siege damage, and Diablo's going to pretty much get a free Dragon Knight.
This is going to be the 3rd Dragon Knight of the game for Team Huckin Spears. And you'd think at this point they should be able to really push that middle down. It looks like that's what they're going to do, with the towers already sort of at half health here.
Yeah. And this is exactly what they need to do. They've all grouped up. They've got the Dragon Knight. They've got all their ults back up. If Unstable is not careful, we could see another massive ult synergy.
Yeah, they need to be really careful. Diablo's actually in the Dragon Knight, so that's something to remember. Oh, wow. Dragon Knight losing health rapidly. Sundering comes out. Wow, huge Maw. Negates the Ring of Frost. Cups is active. Apocalypse hits.
Yeah. Good job to Lily for dodging basically everything, keeping those jugs going. Unfortunately, Thrall is going to fall, but everybody else was able to be kept up. Very impressive defense by Unstable. Hyperion goes out to try to zone them out. Tranquility is out to heal up, but Dark is falling fast. Oh no! The Haymaker, not quite enough damage to finish him off, actually knocking Diablo to safety.
Diablo is going to get out with his life. Falstad trying to just get off the front line here while applying some pressure. I am really surprised that Diablo made it out of that.
Man, and that's why you have to be so careful with that Haymaker. If you hit it wrong, or if the damage that it does is not enough to finish the person off, you can just as easily save them as kill them.
Yeah, for sure. And now, Unstable still not 16, but they feel like they really need to defend this fort, or this keep, and that's what they're trying to do. Laser Muffin trying to maybe look for a root on that Zagara, but not going to get it. And, wow, Unstable, like 4 people getting hit by a blizzard. They need to be careful about grouping up. That is a big danger, not only against the Jaina, but against all of the Wombo potential on the side of Huckin Spears.
Yeah, and that's the power of Snowstorm. That 30% increase on the Blizzard is just so incredible for those team fights, especially when they're all grouped up. And not to mention comboing that with the Ring of Frost, comboing that with the Maw or the Apocalypse. It's just going to, as we saw once before, delete teams.
Maw and Apocalypse both came off cooldown. Ring of Frost and Gust are also available. Tranquility still not. But this next sequence is going to be really bad for Unstable potentially. Very close to 20 for Huckin Spears. So if they want to do something, Unstable has to make it quick before that 20 is achieved.
Huckin Spears doing exactly what they need to do right now. They're capping Merc camps, just getting ready for the shrine. Owl goes out but doesn't quite reveal anybody else, and it looks like we might have a bottom shrine fight.
Yeah, and Zagara's actually not here and has been key in most of their initiations with Maw. Diablo goes in, trying to zone out the enemy team, doing a good job. Muradin is deep there, and wow, Diablo taking so much damage.
Yeah, Hyperion did go out, doing a lot of AoE. Apocalypse goes down. Lots of AoE damage. Lily running away. Beautiful Maw, though. Zagara rotates down, catches 2 people, and they are going to get deleted.
Wow, and right as I say, Zagara is a really big part of their initiation. Jaina goes and lands a huge Ring of Frost.
Yep.
Big Ring of Frost, followed by Apocalypse. And Zagara just a cleanup crew, really.
But props to that Zagara for seeing the initiation. She rotated down. She got the Maw on the 2 people as they were retreating, which allowed them to finish those 2 people off. And this could possibly be game.
Ooh, Laser Muffin. Oh, wow. Has to throw Sundering just to live. And Jaina bolts forward. Does not want to let him go. There's history between these two. He's going to get away. He's going to get away for now.
Remember that day job we talked about last game?
Yeah, he's got some history for sure, and they're gonna take down this middle keep. Dragon Knight now losing health pretty quickly. The Shrink Ray goes out on it.
Tiny Dragon Knight.
But now at this point, they have 20 on the side of Huckin Spears. They have the Dragon Knight. They could maybe still take another keep.
They're gonna try. That's what they need to get out of this Dragon Knight. They've still got 30 seconds, 40% health, and Lily pops her jugs really close. Very surprised that didn't end up getting interrupted. Ends up topping off the whole team. Dragon Knight kicks, but a little too late. Lots of damage, though. Liquid just getting deleted by Jaina.
Yeah, I mean, his passive started to go off, but was not fast enough.
It was not
fast enough. And this is bad. At this point, Huckin Spears, yeah, they can end here. They can definitely
goes
end
down.
the game.
They have the advantage. If they can take one more, Lily just straight into that blizzard. Barely gonna make it out. Thrall goes down, and it looks like this probably will be GG.
Yeah, that a decisive win by Team Huckin Spears as this Diablo tries to zone out the enemy team. I honestly very impressed by most of the players on the side of Huckin Spears, and their composition worked out very well.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing composition for just synergized ults, and they actually got that off really well 2 or 3 times, and there's just absolutely nothing that Unstable could do about it.
You know, Diablo, Jaina, and Zagara are 3 great flavors that taste great together.
Yeah.
You know, like they're great on their own. They're all very strong individual heroes, and you'd love to have those heroes on your team. But when you have all of them and you execute at that level, it's really hard to do anything. And we saw multiple times huge maws, huge rings, and as soon as one of those abilities lands, it's very scary. Like there's not a lot you can do.
It's almost game over.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, we can just see it from the score sheet. 19 kills to 2 kills. Unstable just didn't really have the damage to finish off anybody from Huckin Spears.
That was sort of our worry in the draft. TBK was how do you secure kills with that team, and it felt like Sundering was going to be a big part of that. That you try and wear down the enemy team, throw out a Sundering, get some kills, but that never really materialized.
No, unfortunately, it did not. And look at these talents too. We have 3 Bolts of the Storms there at the end.
No, I'm not surprised. Spears. I'm not surprised by that. I love Bolts of the Storm on Diablo. It's scary. It's scary to know that Diablo could appear next to you and pile drive you. That's terrifying.
Yes, very much so.
We did see Nexus Frenzy from Falstad, which I like. I really like it. It's a little bit of a cocky move to be like, you know what, I could just take the damage. But
I mean,
overall,
if you combo Nexus Frenzy with Giant Killer, that's so much auto attack coming out, especially since you took Seasoned Marksman at level 1.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we actually saw Hammer Time at 16, which is kind of weird. I want to mention it, but the action got pretty fast and furious there. But if you basic attack someone slowed by your hammering, you get a 3/4 second stun.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting. I want to give a shout out to Greg's and Ham, not only for his incredible name, but also for the fact that he is basically running like an OG Jaina build. This is like old school Jaina.
Yeah.
You've got the buff to the trade at 1. Although I guess in the old days it probably would have been the increase to the percentage, but still. That we have a snowstorm, which you pointed out very rightly as being a big factor. We have frostbitten at 7, and then
Yep.
Ring of Frost. Like this is OG Jaina build,
Yeah,
and
but
it's not
I
something you
love
see.
it. I
Yeah,
love this Jaina build. It's not quite as high skill cap as it's not quite as high skill cap as the Frostbolt build, but it can just do so much damage, especially when comboed with some of the other AoE lockdown or AoE ults. Like the Blizzard alone just can melt people.
well, that's the thing, right? Like Blizzard is going to be a bigger factor in a composition that can combine Maw, Ring of Frost, and Apocalypse. Um, Frostbolt build is very fun and very good, but there's so many ways that people could get snagged, either by Diablo, by Roots,
Mm-hmm.
Gust, obviously the mod. Like, there's just so many ways that if you can hit multiple people with that Blizzard
Yep.
consistently, that's probably going to be a better choice in a composition built around AoE Wombo. So, great job by Greggs and Ham. Did a
Yeah.
really good job, and I like the build. Really good stuff.
Yeah. No, that was an absolutely fantastic game. GG's to Huckin Spears. I
Yeah.
was very impressed with what I saw.
And as for unstable, like I think there's like it's easy to get discouraged based on the result here, but I'm not against the support and a half style composition.
Hmm.
I'm just not sure if maybe Raynor is the best person to have in that comp. Um,
It's tough. It
yeah.
really is. Like we were saying, if you don't have at least somebody that can put in some of that burst damage for you, and I almost think, and I know it's not very popular anymore, but I think Kael'thas can still work in these situations.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to say is like in the old days that Raynor probably would have been a Kael'thas and this composition would be a lot scarier, like
Yeah.
with the gravity lapse, the chain bombs late game, giving you lots of options, forcing the enemy team to split up. Definitely, in the old days, that's what we would have seen, I think. So
Yeah, and I mean at the same time, if you think about it, Chain Bomb did not get nerfed. His living bomb damage, his chain bomb talent had not gotten nerfed. So that is the exact same. The only thing that really got nerfed on him is gravity lapse, which granted that's a pretty big nerf. It makes it
yeah,
very hard to do a gravity lapse into flame strike combo. And his ults were nerfed some as well, especially on the timings. But so much of his damage comes from chain bomb and living bomb that I still think he has a place or can have a place, especially if a lot of the options are taken away, like in that draft.
yeah. I mean, I think the old gravity lapse also just comboed a lot better with Tyrande, right? With
Hmm.
like with Lunar Flare, and I think you lose that now, and if you pick Kale, you're muddying the comp a bit because
Yeah.
you want to have a strong early game composition. You have Tyrande, but you end up waiting a little bit longer, and Kale's early game is weaker than it used to be. So
Yeah, for sure.
interesting what ifs, I guess.
It is.